Welcome back to One-on-One Sports. I'm now joined by Jason Vonick and Stephen A. Harris. And we're going to talk some NBA today. A little bit of, we're only a couple games into the season, but let's look at some things. All right, Jason, which face has made the biggest impact on a new team so far?
I think James Harden has made the biggest impact because he hasn't just impacted the Rockets, but he's impacted the entire league. First 3 games were all him. He's putting up MVP-like numbers. And people have forgotten that other guy, Jeremy Lin, I think that's his name. People forgot he's on the Rockets because he's played so well. So he's taken over.
Yeah, you could say that, but I don't think Jeremy Lin has actually gone forgotten. He's just kind of gone under the radar. And James Harden has put up some good numbers, but I think the guy who's made the best impact in his new place is Ray Allen. He's coming off the bench, so it's not as impressive. But he gives the guys such a break, and he takes such a pressure off James and Wade. They want to go a smaller lineup, so they put Wade in, or they put Allen in at small forward, put James on the bench, or put James at power forward, and put Bosh on the bench. He gives such a release. He plays shooting guard, plays Wade.
But regardless, LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh are still on that team. So yes, it takes some pressure off of them, but they don't have as much because they have 2 other guys who can do it.
But they've proven that they've played better when the pressure's off. When James was by himself in Cleveland, he was playing well, but he wasn't succeeding. So the more pressure you take off these guys, the better they do as a team, and that's something that Allen brings that Harden doesn't necessarily bring to the rest of the Rockets.
I think Ray Allen has been great, but he's been more of a bonus. James Harden has been the face of this team so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with James Harden here. That team, what are they relying on after James Harden? Omer Asik and Jeremy Lin? Just saying. All right, next question. Let's kind of flip it around. We're going to go most disappointed so far. Again, season young, but Jason, who you got?
I think so far, it's early. It really is too early to be answering this. If you come in January, it's different. And no one's really been terrible this year. But I think because of the hype with the Brooklyn Nets, I'm going to pick Joe Johnson because he's been kind of going down statistically for his career in the last few years. Yet he's still going down now, and he's just
I'll agree with that. In that Joe Johnson has been quite a disappointment. The Nets were supposed to be a contending team this year. Everybody was blowing up the hype. They're in Brooklyn now. They got Joe Johnson that's supposed to be a contender. But his points per game has dropped from 18.8 to 13.6.
He's shooting 36%.
And he was shooting 45% last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been too early to make a decision. I think it's been the obvious choice that Joe Johnson has been the biggest disappointment.
He still has some time, though. I mean, he's got plenty of time. Just like any team we've seen with the Lakers, they'll need to click. And it'll take some time to do that.
I mean, I guess you could say that, but I mean, you think he would be playing better considering he's not as big of a lead role, considering they have players like Wallace and Darren Williams in that team? You think he'd be playing a little bit better with the pressure off?
Yeah, you're right.
Again, season young. The Nets still got time, but, he has been disappointing so far. We all thought it was all in the playoffs, but now it's leaking a little into the season. All right. What team has the biggest potential to be the next dynasty in the NBA? Steven, let's go with you.
All right, you can hate me if you want to, and this is probably going to be the obvious choice, the most hated choice, but I'm going to go with the Miami Heat. They've proven they can win by winning it just this past year. They're dominating now. James and Bosh are in their prime. They're only 28 and 29 years old. Wade might be over 30, but he's still dominating. And they have young players in Chalmers, Cole, and Terrell Harris who are learning from these veterans such as Ray Allen and Wade and James. This team is stacked for the future. Dexter Pittman is their future, their big man.
Okay, don't go as far with Dexter Pittman.
Don't bring him in.
The point is, I can't go against the Heat. I mean, they have LeBron, Wade, Bosh. They're going to be great, but I'm looking at the potential. And potentially, I think the Washington Wizards have a shot, not now, in a few years. If John Wall and Brad Beal can both step up, they could have one of the best backcourts.
The Wizards are just
no,
right now.
You're right, but
Wall
that's what we're
had
talking
his
about,
chance,
dynasty.
and he's been above average at best.
He's played 2 years. He's got plenty of time to get.
And he was supposed to come in and be the next phenom, and hasn't really proven out with rookies like Blake Griffin.
Well, Derrick Rose didn't do the same thing. It took him a few years to get into MVP form, and John Wall's coming back from injury now. And the Wizards are losing 2 of their most expensive players in Trevor Ariza and Emeka Okafor in this offseason to free agencies. They'll have some cap space.
Right,
if I was a big
again, they're just the potential. The Heat have proven that they can do it, and they're still young enough to keep it going. And with the weakness of the rest of the league, such as the Lakers and Thunder, I don't see how you don't pick the Heat.
Look, I think the Wizards have a chance. I can't go against the Heat, but the Wizards have a chance to be good if things
go. The Heat
on.
Definitely obvious pick right now, but I like that. I like the Wizards. That's a sneaky pick. I like it. All right, that's all the time we have for this episode of One on One, but make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For everyone here at the show, thanks for watching, and as always, whose side are you on?